Scientists have identified less than 1% of the Amazon's plant species for medical use. That means the largest pharmacy on Earth is almost entirely untapped. And the people who've had the keys to it for thousands of years, they're not doctors. They're not researchers. They're indigenous healers living deep in a jungle that the modern world is burning down faster than we can study it. Today, I'm taking you inside 10 of the most powerful healing plants ever discovered in the Amazon rainforest. We're talking about a fruit with 60 times more vitamin C than an orange, a tree that literally bleeds red and that blood seals wounds, a vine that's being studied in clinical trials for PTSD and addiction, and a bark so powerful, indigenous peoples called it potency wood, and modern science is backing that up. Some of these you've heard of. Most of them you haven't, and at least one of them is going to completely change the way you think about plants and medicine. Stick around for number 7, because Big Pharma has been quietly researching it for decades, and they don't want you to know why. Number 1, cat's claw. Picture a neem tree dropping leaves all over someone's driveway, while a landscaper fires up a leaf blower to deal with the mess. Your HOA wants it gone. The guy with the blower wants it gone. And nobody standing there knows that Indian villages have used that exact tree as a walking pharmacy for 3,000 years. Imagine a vine that curls around trees deep in the Amazon with claws that can actually fight off disease. And this plant is called cat's claw, and indigenous healers have been using it for over 2,000 years. But here's the wild part. Scientists are now studying it, and they're amazed by what they're finding. Cat's claw is a woody vine that grows in the Amazon rainforest. It gets its name from the little curved thorns on its stem. They look just like a cat's claws. The part that healers use is the bark of the vine. Indigenous tribes in Peru and Brazil would make tea from the bark and drink it when they were sick or in pain. They used it for stomach problems, swelling in the joints, and to help the body fight off illness. Scientists discovered that cat's claw contains compounds that may help reduce inflammation in the body. It also seems to support the immune system, which is like the body's army that fights off germs. Some researchers are even studying it for conditions like arthritis, where joints become painful and swollen. For over 2,000 years, Amazon healers use this vine as medicine, and now laboratories around the world are trying to turn it into pills. The rainforest figured it out first. Cat's claw was just the beginning. Up next, a tree that bleeds red, and that blood, it has been used to heal wounds for centuries. Number 2, Sangre de Drago, dragon's blood. What if I told you there's a tree in the Amazon that, when you cut its bark, it bleeds red, dark, thick, red sap, and that blood has been used to heal cuts and wounds for thousands of years? This is Sangre de Drago, which literally means dragon's blood. Sangre de Drago is a tall tree that grows across the Amazon rainforest. When you cut into the bark, bright red sap comes pouring out. It looks almost exactly like blood. Indigenous healers have known for centuries that this red sap is incredibly powerful. Healers would tap the tree, collect the red sap, and apply it directly to cuts, wounds, and skin infections. It would form a kind of natural seal over the wound, almost like nature's own bandage. They also used it as a drink for stomach problems and infections. Scientists who've studied dragon's blood sap found it contains compounds that may help speed up how fast skin cells repair themselves. That's one reason it became so valued for wound healing. It also has antiviral properties, meaning it may help fight certain viruses. There's even an FDA-approved medicine made from it used to treat diarrhea in AIDS patients. A tree that bleeds red and heals you. It sounds like something from a fantasy movie, but it's completely real. And it's growing in the Amazon rainforest right now. Dragon's blood seals wounds on the outside, but the next plant was used for something much harder to heal, the human mind. Number 3, ayahuasca. This next plant is probably the most controversial one on our entire list. It's been called a sacred medicine, a dangerous drug, and now, by some of the world's top scientists, a potential breakthrough in mental health research. This is ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is a vine that grows in the Amazon rainforest. For thousands of years, indigenous shamans, traditional spiritual healers, have brewed it into a ceremonial tea by combining it with other plants. They used it in sacred rituals, meant to help people heal emotionally and spiritually. In traditional Amazon ceremonies, trained healers would guide people through the ayahuasca experience. Many believed it allowed the mind to confront deep emotional pain, things like grief, fear, trauma, and addiction, in ways ordinary conversation sometimes couldn't. Here's where things get really interesting. Scientists at universities like Johns Hopkins and NYU are now running clinical studies on ayahuasca and similar psychedelic compounds for conditions like depression, PTSD, and addiction. Early research has shown promising results in some patients, including people who struggled for years despite therapy and medication. This is cutting-edge science happening right now. For thousands of years, Amazon shamans treated emotional suffering with plants from the rainforest. Modern science is only beginning to understand why, and researchers are taking it very seriously. That was probably the most intense plant on this list. But next, we're shifting to something millions of people unknowingly consume every single day, because the Amazon's answer to coffee is up next. Number 4, guarana. You've seen it on energy drink cans. You've heard the name. But most people have no idea that guaraná comes from a little red fruit growing deep in the Amazon, and that its seeds contain nearly twice the caffeine of coffee beans. Guaraná is a climbing plant that produces small red fruits. Inside each fruit is a dark seed packed with natural stimulants. Indigenous tribes in the Amazon, especially the Sangre people of Brazil, have harvested and used these seeds for hundreds of years. The Sangre would grind the seeds into a paste and mix it with water to create a drink that boosted energy and focus during long hunts and journeys. It became their secret weapon for endurance. Today, Brazil is the world's largest producer of guaraná, and the plant is now used in drinks, powders, and supplements all over the world. Scientists discovered that guaraná seeds contain extremely high amounts of caffeine, even more than coffee beans. But the plant also contains compounds like theobromine and theophylline, which may help create a smoother, longer-lasting energy effect compared to coffee alone. Some studies have also explored its possible benefits for memory, alertness, and focus. Long before modern energy drinks existed, Amazon tribes already had guaraná. They were using one of nature's most powerful stimulants, straight from the rainforest. So the Amazon solved energy, but the next plant was believed to solve something far more personal. Its nickname alone made it famous. Number 5, Muira Puama. This next plant has a nickname that's been used in the Amazon for centuries: potency wood. And before you laugh, modern researchers have started paying very close attention to it. Muira Puama is a small tree that grows in the Brazilian Amazon. The bark and roots are the parts traditionally used as medicine, and the plant has been part of indigenous healing practices for generations. Amazon healers used Muira Puama for people who were exhausted, stressed, or experiencing physical and mental fatigue. They brewed it into teas and tinctures and considered it a general tonic, something believed to strengthen and restore the entire body. Modern researchers have studied Muira Puama for 2 main reasons: its possible effects on sexual health and its potential impact on memory and brain function. One study in France reported improvements in libido and sexual function among many participants. Other research suggests the plant may help protect brain cells from damage, which has made it interesting to scientists studying aging and cognitive decline. Some herbalists even refer to it as a nerve tonic because of its effects on the nervous system. A small tree growing deep in the Amazon rainforest might one day help researchers better understand stress, fatigue, memory, and human performance. The jungle has been holding on to this secret for centuries. Muira Puama was believed to restore energy and vitality, but the next plant is all about protection, and it contains more of one important vitamin than almost any food on Earth. Number 6, Camu. Quick question. What food do you think of when someone says vitamin C? Oranges, right? Now, what if I told you there's a tiny fruit from the Amazon that can contain up to 60 times more vitamin C than an orange? 60 times. Camu is a small, cherry-like fruit that grows on shrubs along the flooded riverbanks of the Amazon rainforest. It's sour, extremely sour. But inside that little fruit is one of the most impressive nutritional profiles scientists have ever studied. Indigenous communities in the Amazon have consumed Camu for generations, often mixing it with water to make a drink. They noticed that people who consumed it regularly seemed healthier and more resistant to illness. Today, Camu is sold around the world as a powder, juice, and dietary supplement. The vitamin C content in Camu is extraordinary, among the highest ever recorded in a natural food source. Vitamin C plays a major role in immune function, skin health, and protecting cells from damage. Because of this, researchers have studied Camu for its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory potential, along with possible effects on mood and overall health. This tiny fruit growing along the Amazon River may be one of the most vitamin C rich foods on Earth. And most people outside the rainforest have never even heard of it. Camu helps protect the body from the inside out, but the next plant might be the most mysterious healer in the entire Amazon. Number 7, Graviola. Remember at the start, I mentioned a plant that scientists have been studying for decades because of its unusually powerful chemical compounds. This is that plant. This is Graviola. Graviola, also called soursop, is a tropical tree that produces large, spiky green fruit. The fruit is soft and sweet inside and is eaten across South America and the Caribbean. But it's the leaves, bark, and seeds that attracted the most scientific attention. In traditional Amazon medicine, Graviola was used for fever, pain, parasites, and infections. Healers brewed the leaves into teas and used different parts of the tree as natural remedies. Over time, it became one of the most widely used medicinal plants in parts of the Amazon region. Then researchers discovered something unexpected. Graviola contains a group of natural compounds called ananaceous acetogenins. In laboratory studies, some of these compounds showed the ability to damage or slow the growth of certain cancer cells. That immediately caught the attention of scientists around the world. But there's an important detail here. Lab results are not the same as proven medical treatments. While the early research is intriguing, scientists still need large human studies to know whether Graviola is safe or effective for treating cancer in real patients. Researchers have also studied the plant for antimicrobial and antiparasitic properties. Even so, the fact that a rainforest tree used by indigenous healers for centuries contains compounds powerful enough to attract serious scientific research is remarkable. Graviola became one of the Amazon's most studied medicinal plants, but the next plant may be the most straightforward healer of all because its name literally tells you exactly what it was used for. Number 8, Chanca Piedra. If a plant has the nickname Stonebreaker, you know it means business. This is Chanca Piedra, and its name literally translates to stonebreaker. Chanca Piedra is a small herb, not a giant rainforest tree or vine, just a humble little plant that grows throughout the Amazon and other tropical regions. For hundreds of years, it's been used in traditional medicine across South America, Asia, and Africa. Indigenous healers in the Amazon used Chanca Piedra specifically for kidney and liver problems. They brewed it into teas for people suffering from kidney stones, hardened mineral deposits that form inside the kidneys and can be incredibly painful to pass. The plant was also used to support and protect the liver. This is actually one of the most studied plants on our list. Multiple scientific studies have explored how Chanca Piedra may help relax the muscles of the urinary tract, which could make kidney stones easier to pass. Some research has also suggested it may help reduce the formation of new stones. On top of that, scientists discovered the plant contains compounds with hepatoprotective effects, meaning they may help protect liver cells from damage. A tiny plant that most people would walk right past has been helping people with kidney and liver problems in the Amazon for centuries. And modern science is beginning to confirm why. Chanca Piedra protects the body's filters, but the next plant was believed to protect something even more important, the human nervous system, and it comes with one of the most unforgettable quotes in herbal medicine. Number 9, Catuaba. There's an old saying from the Tupi people of Brazil that goes, "Until 60, a man gives to a woman. After 60, Catuaba gives to the man." That quote has been passed down for generations, and scientists are starting to understand why. Catuaba is a small tree found in the forests of Brazil, and its bark has been used medicinally by the Tupi people for centuries. Over time, it became one of the most respected plants in Brazilian herbal medicine. The Tupi prepared the bark as a tea or tincture. It was traditionally used for fatigue, stress, anxiety, poor sleep, and low energy, both physical and sexual. Many considered it a nerve tonic, meaning something believed to strengthen and support the nervous system as a whole. Modern researchers studying Catuaba discovered compounds that may interact with dopamine systems in the brain. Dopamine is closely linked to motivation, pleasure, and mood. Animal studies have shown antidepressant-like effects, and researchers have also explored the plant's possible antibacterial, antiviral, and neuroprotective properties. For generations, the Tupi people used Catuaba to support energy, mood, and vitality. Now, modern neuroscience is beginning to uncover the chemistry behind it, and the results are fascinating. One plant left. And we're ending with a rainforest healer whose strange medicinal sap may be one of the most versatile natural substances in the entire Amazon. Number 10, Copaiba. Our final plant produces a golden resin that Amazonian healers have used for centuries as a painkiller, wound healer, and anti-inflammatory medicine. And modern scientists discovered that this resin interacts with one of the most important regulatory systems in the human body, the endocannabinoid system, the same system associated with CBD. This is Copaiba. Copaiba is a large tree found throughout the Amazon basin. When the trunk is tapped, similar to tapping a maple tree for syrup, it releases a pale golden resin known as Copaiba oil. This oil has been one of the most widely traded natural medicines in South America since at least the 1600s. Indigenous healers and later Brazilian folk medicine practitioners used Copaiba resin for an enormous range of conditions: wounds, skin infections, joint pain, bronchitis, bladder infections, and general inflammation. It was applied directly to the skin and also taken internally in small amounts. What makes Copaiba scientifically fascinating is its main active compound, beta-caryophyllene. Researchers discovered that this natural compound directly interacts with the body's endocannabinoid system, the same system targeted by CBD. But unlike THC, beta-caryophyllene is not psychoactive. Studies have explored its anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and pain-relieving potential, along with possible effects on anxiety and neurological protection. Centuries before scientists even discovered the endocannabinoid system, Amazon healers were already using Copaiba for many of those exact effects. The rainforest didn't need modern laboratories to begin understanding medicine. It had thousands of years of observation. And hidden deep beneath the canopy of the Amazon, plants that once sounded like myths are now becoming some of the most scientifically fascinating medicines on Earth. The Amazon rainforest covers less than 6% of the Earth's surface, yet it's home to more than half of the world's plant and animal species, and we've barely begun to study it. The 10 plants you just learned about aren't modern inventions or hidden laboratory discoveries. They've existed for thousands of years, used by indigenous peoples who understood something about nature that modern science is only beginning to rediscover. But the Amazon is disappearing faster than scientists can explore it. Every year, countless plant species vanish before researchers ever get the chance to study them. Potential medicines, unknown compounds, treatments we may never even realize we lost. And that's what makes the Amazon so fascinating. Hidden beneath that rainforest canopy could be answers humanity has been searching for all along. If this video introduced you to even one plant you'd never heard of before, share it. Because the more people understand what's being lost, the harder it becomes to ignore. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.